Max, your brother, Gary's wedding really was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was. The reception was absolutely spectacular, and I think my new sister-in-law was beautiful.
Oh, I know. Wasn't she just gorgeous? I guess I shouldn't have expected anything less, considering she's the daughter of a company president. But not just any company. Gary's now married to the daughter of the huge corporation he's currently working for. Gary's really done a tremendous job this time. He's managed to snag quite the catch of a wife. Maybe even the best one ever.
This again. Really, Mom? Honestly, up until the wedding, you've been going on and on about how he's marrying into some serious money. I thought that maybe you would focus more on how happy Gary is to be married now that the ceremony has actually happened. But you still seem to be fixated on that and that alone. Are you expecting Gary and his wife to be living with our family at your house? Think about it. Don't you think she'd prefer to go live at her family's house? Her family probably owns some mansion or whatnot that she'd prefer to live in. No matter how you look at it, our house probably pales in comparison to anything her family owns.
You might think that, but I actually heard from the lady herself that she wanted to live here. So last month I thought I had to renovate the house somehow, even if I only had the time to fix up one room.
Oh, you did then? Well, don't feel like you need my permission to use the space that used to be my room. Feel free to use it however you like.
Well, of course. I figured you wouldn't mind if I did something to it. After all, it's not like you're living there anymore. You've been at that apartment that's close to your work for quite a while now. I didn't think you would really need to come back here anytime soon. So, I had the wall between your room and Gary's torn down so I could connect the two rooms together. Now it's one much larger room that the two of them can use together. I threw out all of your things, too.
Oh, you did, huh? You just pitched everything without asking me about any of it. Well, I guess this is about what I expected from you anyway.
Well, it really shouldn't come as much of a surprise. Where would I have kept it all? If you came home for a while, there wouldn't have been a place for you to sleep apart from the sofa anyway. You should just focus on being proud of how you can be in any way useful to your amazing brother. Gary and Brianna are enjoying their honeymoon right now, but when they get back, I'll need help cleaning up the house.
Why am I not surprised you would say something like that? For as long as I can remember, you've only been doting on Gary and praising him for everything he's ever done. You seem to blindly focus on him so much that it frankly felt like you were spoiling him a bit. But I guess that somehow resulted in him managing to find a wife with an extremely wealthy family like Brianna, huh?
Hey, I may be your mother, but I'm only human too, you know. It should be obvious that I direct my love more towards the better person, the one who had so much potential that could meet even the loftiest of expectations.
Right. And I suppose being the top of my class doesn't mean a thing towards being better in your eyes then. Not even good enough. I guess Gary was just so amazing that even my greatest achievements were just overshadowed, huh?
Top of your class? Is that right? I thought you were just an average run-of-the-mill child. Were you actually top of your class? That wasn't just some lie to get my attention, was it?
Just about all of my test scores were in the 99th percentile.
Oh, is that so? I guess that was something that didn't really stick in my memory. Sorry.
It's far past the time that I would even care about whether you remember or not anyway. Frankly, I'd say it's better that you weren't all over me like you were with Gary anyway. That looked like it wasn't much fun to deal with.
By the way, have you happened to find a girlfriend yet?
Actually, yes. Her name is June.
Oh, then you simply must bring her to see me sometime soon. I'll be sure to ascertain whether or not she's a woman worth marrying or not.
Unfortunately, I can't say I'm particularly inclined to do that. Sorry. I'm the younger son anyway, so just leave me be. Just focus on Gary like you always have been. If you care about the family legacy, he's enough. Also, that will keep me out of your hair while you're working to make the house as good as it needs to be for Gary and Brianna.
No, that just won't do. Gary may just be a standard employee right now, but he's probably going to end up as an executive sooner or later.
Yes, and I fail to see how that has anything to do with me.
Well, once he gets promoted, he's undoubtedly going to leave our house and go live in some fancy mansion or penthouse suite or something. So, once they leave, you and your future wife are going to have to be here to take care of me.
Excuse me? What, you're expecting June and me to just act as your caretakers? Save your money and move into a home if you're planning on being cared for later on in your life. There's all sorts of them out there, with plenty of different services available for all sorts of care, including care that I could never provide.
What? You should be the one paying that money, not me!
You're saying I alone should be paying for you to live someplace? That's ridiculous. If you're so intent on having someone else paying for you to live somewhere, why not try getting the money from your other son you love so much? As you have mentioned countless times, he did marry into quite a wealthy family, after all, not to mention his supposedly inevitable promotion. I'm only a simple employee at a small office. There's no way I'd be able to pay for something like that.
But Brianna's the only child in her family. She's already going to have her hands full when it comes to taking care of her parents. When the time comes that I need care, there's no way to know if Gary will have money to spare, even though he'll be wildly successful.
And so you expect the person who's making less money to somehow have enough to spare for you? That's just silly. I've had enough of this conversation. I'm off to bed.
Come on! Wait a minute, Max! Hey, Max. Last night, did you happen to be walking along Birch Street with a woman?
Mom, I live less than a block away from Birch Street. I walk along that street practically every day. What's wrong with that?
No, you don't understand. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not asking about whether you were walking on Birch Street. I'm asking about if you had a woman with you.
How do you even know about that anyway? Your house is quite a ways away from Birch Street.
I saw you while I was in the car on the way back from that high-class French restaurant that's near you. Gary and Brianna have finally settled in and things have settled down, so they held a huge party to thank me for my work.
Oh, that's nice. I guess you're finally getting to live the rich life of luxury that you always wanted, aren't you? How was the restaurant? Was it everything you dreamed it would be? I know how much you've always wanted to dine on fine French cuisine.
Oh, it was just spectacular. Every single dish they brought out was more delicious than I could have ever imagined. But we're getting off topic again. Were you or were you not with a woman as you were walking down Birch Street?
Yes, there was. Are you happy? You probably saw us as I was walking her to the train station. I've talked about her before. Remember how you were talking about how you wanted the two of us to be the ones to take care of you when you get older?
How old is she?
She's 26. What about it? We met in college. She was in the same class as me.
Wait, if you met her in college, don't you think it's been a long time since you've started seeing her? Why haven't you started making wedding plans yet? What have you even been doing all this time?
Gary's already had a fancy enough wedding for the both of us, so I wasn't in a hurry to get married myself. Knowing how much you prefer him, I figured that if I brought the idea up to you, I thought you might try to stop me from getting married before he did. Or are you telling me you would have been fine with that?
No, of course not. If Gary didn't get married first, everything will just end up a complete mess.
Of course, just as I expected. Clearly, it would have been better if I had just stayed quiet from the beginning. Anyway, I plan to marry her.
Don't tell me you've already proposed to her.
Well, I've already said some things to her that hint at what I'm thinking, but I haven't properly proposed yet, no.
You need to bring her over so I can meet her properly.
If we're talking about introductions, don't you think it's more important that I meet her family first? If we're going by old traditions, usually the man is the one to ask the parents for their daughter's hand. Though, considering we're not living in those times, I'd say it's more like it's better that they know their daughter is in fine hands more than anything else.
And what if she ends up just bringing misfortune with her? I'm not saying it needs to be some formal introduction, just that she should come over for a little get-together of some kind.
And how do you think she would feel about me not even having a room there anymore? And what's this garbage about her bringing misfortune with her? What is she to you? A black cat walking under a ladder or something?
Don't be snippy with me. I mean, what if her parents are saddled with lots of debt? Or she ends up being utterly hideous or something. Or maybe it could be on the other side of the scale, and one of her relatives might be someone with lots of power and influence. Don't you think about that at all?
Well, first off, I can't believe that you would be just openly concerned about whether she's hideous or not. But more importantly, aren't those all things you just want to know yourself? I can't say I really care. She is pretty, her parents don't have debt, there's no problems.
You just don't understand, Max. Marriage isn't just about the two people getting married, you know that? It also involves two families coming together and really getting to know each other much better than before. It is extremely important to consider how the two families will interact with each other.
Okay, if that's the case, then how are things going in terms of our family and your precious Gary's super wealthy family that he married into? I'd say there's been a pretty negligible impact on our family's end, don't you?
Well, that's because all that matters is Gary managing to surpass his peers.
Oh, I see. Well then, let's see if I have this straight. I'll see if I can put it as plainly as possible. All you want to know is whether or not June's family either has lots of money or has connections to high society. Am I wrong?
Well, yes. I'd say that's pretty accurate.
You're really just admitting it? The only thing you care about regarding my hopefully future wife is whether or not I'm marrying into money like Gary?
Yes. If this June girl happened to be that sort of high-class woman, then I would stop being so concerned about it.
Do you even realize what you're saying? Look, June's family is better off than ours, socially and economically. Thanks to that, June grew up a bit sheltered, I'll call it. Anyway, is that enough info for you?
Then when's the ceremony going to be? When will I get to meet her family face to face?
I'll arrange for a time for you to meet her family, but I'm not about to go planning some big ceremony. The amount of money it would take for something like that would be better used saving it for the future, or perhaps investing it. That's what I'm planning to do.
Okay, that's it. You need to bring her here as soon as possible.
Yeah, no. Aren't you busy enough with all this business with Gary? I don't see why you need to be so concerned about my life. Just leave the two of us be.
Max, hold on. Max! Max, answer me already. I've got more to say about our conversation a few days ago.
What is it now, Mom? You really just can't let it go, huh? Well, what is it you want to talk about then?
You should know by now. It's about that woman you're seeing. You just said, leave us be, and stopped responding to any of my texts.
Of course, it's just all about June again. This is exactly why I told you to leave us alone. We are quietly seeing more of each other, slowly deepening our relationship. What's so damn important that you have to butt in about it again?
Where is she from? How tall is she? How much does she weigh? If she went to the same college as you, then I imagine she isn't lacking in intelligence, right?
Why do you even feel the need to ask all of this? You're going to be meeting her sooner or later anyway.
Then do as I asked you before and bring her here!
Sure, once we've filed our marriage registration.
No, that will not do at all. Don't go thinking you can just take such big steps like that on your own. You will bring her to me so I can make sure everything is all right.
Make sure? What's there to make sure of? This is my choice, not yours. Look, if it'll get you to leave me alone, I'll tell you as much as I know. She's from a small town upstate, she's 5 feet tall, and I don't know her weight, but she's thin. You better not ask me to get her to clarify that last one.
So, she's a cute little girl from some podunk town in the middle of nowhere.
What, so just because she's not from a big city, she's from the middle of nowhere? How could you even say something like that? On top of that, I do hope that cute little wasn't meant as a slight against her height. She's only a little short of the national average, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, isn't there? What are you going to do if she passes on her short genes to your children? If they grow up to want to play pro football or something, no matter what skill they have, they won't have the physical strength to make the cut.
Then they'll be short. If they grow up to want to go into sports, then we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. But that doesn't matter right now. I think that's far from the first thing to be worrying about. I'd be surprised if that sort of problem even came up at all. Don't you think you're worrying way too much about this? You're going completely overboard here.
Well, look at Gary and Brianna as a comparison. Just look at all of the wonderful things about them. Gary's 5'11", while Brianna's 5'9". Gary's a great athlete and businessman, while Brianna is great both at tending a garden and playing piano. If you take Gary's smarts and strength and combine them with Brianna's beauty and skills, just imagine what kind of child could result from that. I just can't wait for the day where I get to meet my grandchildren.
So you really want to be called Grandma that much, huh?
That's not what I mean, and you know it.
Well, if you're so worried about what June's hobbies are, I know she can play piano at least. She's been forced to learn it for much of her childhood. It's not like she was aiming to go to a music school for her whole life or anything, though. She basically stopped practicing after middle school or so.
Ah, so she's been learning piano since she was little then? I suppose she might be a reasonably nice woman at least, then. It's a shame she wasn't learning something like violin instead. Then I could imagine her being a proper woman of class with a good upbringing.
What are you even talking about? Are you seriously saying you judge someone's social status based on what instrument they learned as a kid?
I'm not finished yet. Don't be rude. Anyway, how much does June make then? What sort of work does she do?
Well, at college, I was in the economics department, but she was in law. So right now, she's working hard as a newly licensed attorney.
What? She's licensed to practice law? I guess that is a point in her favor then. But still, don't forget that marriage isn't just between the two of you. It's two families joining together. Even if the woman in question is good, if her parents are worthless, then the wedding's not going to happen.
Right. So I guess that means this won't happen at all, right? Considering how you're the worthless parent in the equation here. Mom, did you say or do something to June? Don't try to tell me you don't remember.
No, I haven't really done anything. I only really wanted to look into something. So I sent her a letter. That's all.
So you have done something.
As for what I was looking into, it had to do with that little hayseed's hick hometown. She may be putting on the face of a lawyer, but a country bumpkin is still a country bumpkin.
Oh, wow. How scathing. I didn't expect this from you at all. Oh, wait, I did, because you haven't deviated from your apparent determination to badmouth my girlfriend and her family. Yes, her hometown is out in a more rural area, but I guarantee you her family is more well off than ours is. It's rich that you just keep going on and on with this talk.
Yes, I looked into her relatives too, and two of them seem to be representatives, sure. But they're representatives on a city council. Nothing with any weight. What power do they even have?
How should I know? I'm not trying to research how much power I'll get out of marrying a woman I love. That issue is entirely separate from my relationship with June. She's working here, and she'll be living with me here. Her parents' lives have nothing to do with this.
Look, you said earlier that they were well off, right? How can that possibly be? They're in a rural town. What could they possibly be rich from? Farming? I think you're just making it up to try to get me to stop looking into it.
What, so now you're going to start insulting farmers too? Do you have no shame? It's thanks to them that we can continue to have food to eat at all. There's nothing wrong with farming as a profession. And you are aware that there are wealthy farmers out there too, aren't you?
What? People who have just larger farms, you mean?
Yes. June's family is one of those. They have a giant farm and employ lots of staff, and they have state-of-the-art machines making things as efficient as possible as well. June isn't just some girl who grew up playing in the dirt while her parents were tilling fields. She is the daughter of a large farming conglomerate.
Okay. And? Is there anything else good about her?
What, so having a consistent supply of fresh vegetables isn't good enough for you? That's something even you could take advantage of.
Nope. Denied. You need to find another woman, as soon as possible. If you don't want to, I will be happy to find someone who I can set you up with.
Are you insane? What makes you think you have the right to make such a decision? You won't stop me from proposing to her. I plan to do so during our date tomorrow.
What? No, you can't do that. I won't allow it. If you don't do as I say, I will have no problem disowning you and taking you entirely out of my will. Understand? You won't have a family anymore. Max, you didn't do anything foolish today, did you? You didn't actually do something as stupid as propose to that dirty lawyer girl, did you?
Oh, Mom, thank you for asking. Yes, I did, as a matter of fact. Not only that, I'm currently at her family's house, and we're having a nice time drinking together.
You did what? You withdraw that proposal this instant and come right home. Now! I am your mother, and you will do as I say.
Oh, that's a laugh. You tell me to come back home when you've destroyed my room and threw out my things?
Did you forget what I told you yesterday? I told you that if you proposed to that bumpkin, I would disown you from the family. If you withdraw your proposal, I'll think about not following through with that threat.
Well, I very clearly defied your demand and proposed to June anyway. You're saying that daring to propose to a woman I love will result in being disowned? Do I have that right? Then go on, disown me. Do whatever you like.
I cannot believe how useless of a son you are. You are nothing compared to Gary.
Do you think you could stop comparing me to him already? Gary didn't marry Brianna because she was the daughter of a wealthy family. He married the woman he loved, and the woman he loved just happened to be the daughter of a wealthy family. That's all. To put it simply, he essentially got lucky, if you could even call it that. He probably would have married her if she hadn't a cent to her name.
But she is wealthy. It's thanks to Gary's strengths that he got such a wealthy wife.
Look, Gary is a great businessman. I'll grant you that. However, I don't believe there's such a strength used when it comes to marriage. On top of that, marriage is between the two people getting married. The same goes for Gary and Brianna. You, Mom, have nothing to do with it.
You just don't know when to shut up. How could I have raised such a terrible child? I couldn't care less what you have to say. I'm telling you that you need to listen to me because I am your mother. Understand? All children need to do as their parents say.
Oh, do they now? It's a good thing you already disowned me then. Or at least you intend to. So, I have no reason to call you Mom anymore anyway. Carol. Give Dad my regards.
You complete imbecile! Go and drown in the mud with your filthy farm girl.
Yo, Carol! Have you been going to that high-class French place recently?
What's this all of a sudden? I'm pretty sure we've already severed ties as parent and child, haven't we?
Well, yeah, I was there. That said, it's not the end of the world to have some small talk with your acquaintance, Max, right?
My acquaintance, huh?
Anyway, have you been back to that place much?
I don't think this really matters to you at all, but I'll be nice and tell you. Recently, that restaurant has suddenly just up and closed until further notice. I can't imagine why. After all, I had made plans to go there with some of the neighbors, too. It seems like they just went and suspended business completely out of nowhere. It made me look terrible in front of everyone. Without that, I can't possibly show off how rich I am.
Wait, you're serious? You really were just going to a fancy restaurant just to show off how rich you were?
What else can I do now? There's nothing that fancy remotely close by. I desperately want to make a reservation there, but I have no clue if or when they will ever open up again.
Ah, that's unfortunate. It's a real pity, isn't it? But as a matter of fact, I happen to know why that restaurant suddenly closed.
What? Don't go mouthing off about things you don't understand. It's not like someone like you has ever been there before.
Sure, I may not have ever been in that restaurant, but I certainly know the flavors on offer. After all, the chef from that restaurant occasionally comes to June's house and cooks for us.
What? You're saying that that's why the restaurant hasn't been open for so long now?
No, of course not. June's father just calls the chef up sometimes and asks if he's free to come over and cook. The chef is paid, of course, but he likes coming because there are some ingredients he can only get his hands on here that are hard to get elsewhere. I suppose the most important part is that June's father and the chef have been good friends for a really long time, though. A number of the cooking staff at that restaurant are old friends of June's father, apparently.
What do you mean by ingredients that are hard to get? You're not making any sense.
A large amount of ingredients used by that restaurant, such as the cheeses and the vegetables, are produced by June's family's farm. Right now, they aren't selling a single thing to the restaurant, so it just can't open. If they buy those ingredients elsewhere, the flavor will be completely different.
They aren't selling ingredients to the restaurant. Why in the world aren't they? That just causes problems for the restaurant and its customers. What a malicious farm to just suddenly stop selling their produce.
If you take back and formally apologize for every disparaging remark you've made about June and give your blessing to our wedding, then they might consider starting to sell ingredients to that restaurant again.
What?
Also, I don't believe the shop is really having too much trouble at the moment, actually. June's father apologized for wrapping the restaurant up in his family's affairs, and has been paying them himself until they resume business. The chef I mentioned earlier also heard about the situation, and it sounds like he was fully on board with the plan.
Why do I have to be the one to make an apology? I was never even given the opportunity to meet June, nor her family. Oh, hold on. I just got a message from Brianna's mother, actually. I don't have the time to deal with you right now.
Oh boy, this should be good.
Hey, Max. Look, there's some things I really need to apologize to you about, as your mother.
What's this all of a sudden? I have a bad feeling about it, though. My not-so-dear acquaintance, Carol. If you're worried about the restaurant being able to buy ingredients again, their business should be resuming tomorrow.
Please, Max. Please call me Mom again. I was just joking about the whole disowning you thing. I'll take the whole thing back, I promise.
Well, this is a surprise. What happened to bring about this drastic change of heart? Did you also happen to come to hear some startling information?
Startling information? Well, I heard that Brianna's family was strongly indebted to June's.
Yes, that does seem to be the case, doesn't it? When Brianna's father's company had only just gotten established, their very first investors were June's family. They made pretty large investments, too. Only thanks to that initial investment was that company able to grow and flourish into the corporation it is today.
I heard about how Mr. Mayo was one of the biggest investors in the company and that such a position granted him a large degree of voting power.
Oh, I don't think I remember telling you June's last name. Actually, I'm pretty sure I did my best to avoid doing so. Did you look it up or something?
I heard it from Brianna's mother. She told me that if Mr. Mayo got mad, things would quickly go south for the company. So she begged me not to irritate him.
So by go south, you mean that Mr. Mayo might motion for a vote of no confidence in the current president at the next shareholders meeting? That current president being, of course, Brianna's father.
From what I understand, Mr. Mayo originally studied law before going into agriculture, so he's well aware of the power he holds. He could buy enough stock to take control of the company and make it into a subsidiary of his own. At least, that's what Brianna's mother is telling me. If he does that, he'll gain total control, and who knows what will happen to Brianna's father once that happens. And even worse, if Mr. Mayo is angered further, Gary's whole career will vanish on the spot.
Oh, wow. So you're telling me that Gary's company, the company you were extolling Gary for getting such a high position in, could become a subsidiary of a filthy farming company that you seem to hate so much? That's absolutely hysterical. That means Brianna, the daughter of a wealthy family that you love so much, will lose all of the money you've been benefiting from.
Please, I'm begging you. Please forgive your foolish mother. I want to take back everything I said about disowning you. Of course I'll approve the wedding between you and June as well.
I'm afraid it isn't quite that simple. Sure, I'm happy that you are finally willing to accept my marriage, but your formal apology comes first, doesn't it, Carol? You can't have forgotten all of the terrible things you said about the woman who's going to become my wife, can you?
I may have said something about her being from a small town, yes.
Oh no, I'm not letting you sugarcoat your own harsh words. You called her a filthy country bumpkin who wasn't worth anything as a wife. You said that, lawyer or not, she was still a country bumpkin and that I should drown in the mud with her. Now, I don't particularly care what you say to me, but you deeply insulted the people who work hard every day to supply food to this whole region. And you also made light of June being a lawyer, when she graduated top of her class and is a splendid lawyer working at a very reputable firm. How about we file a defamation suit against you, with Mr. Mayo and his family as the plaintiffs? How does that sound?
Please, wait. Stop with all of these crazy jokes of yours. You're just trying to shock your poor old mother with this kind of talk, right?
You told me that if I proposed to that bumpkin, you would disown me, remember? If that's the case, then I will be adopted into June's family as their son-in-law. How about we do a hostile takeover of the company Gary's working for, then? Mr. Mayo is famous in this area. It should go without saying that he has more than enough power and money to do so.
I'm sorry. Please, forgive me. If that happens, I won't be able to show my face in front of Brianna's parents ever again.
I don't see why that should matter to me. It's not as if the reputation of someone I'm not related to matters to me in the slightest to begin with. From Mr. Mayo's house, the only scenery I can see is a seemingly endless array of fields and greenhouses. I can see mountains on the horizon as well. The kind of farming that goes on here is far beyond the pitiful scale you try to attribute it to, Carol.
Are you telling me you intend to inherit Mr. Mayo's business?
Well, I can't say for sure. June still holds the right to succeed the business, but she would have to choose to abandon her law career. So, if they wish me to, I will study everything I possibly can about agriculture and agricultural law so I can fulfill the role. That said, June also has a younger sister that's studying economics and agriculture, so I would say she's the likely successor at this point. Besides, what does it matter to you? What problem could you possibly have with the son you disowned taking up a career in agriculture?
I'm so sorry. Please, I'll take back the disownment. I was being so shallow, thinking that being a farmer equaled being poor and other such horrible things. If I don't get this whole disownment matter voided and get Mr. Mayo to forgive me, we're all going to be finished.
Is that so? Are you saying you will actually apologize to June for everything you've said then?
Of course. If possible, I would like to meet their whole family in person and formally apologize as your mother.
Oh, is that so? If you're actually serious, I might consider calling you Mom again.
Oh, really, Max? You'll forgive me. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much.
Well, I might be in a forgiving mood, but I don't know if Dad will.
Huh?
Did you know that I graduated at the top of my college class? I might have mentioned it before as well, but it wouldn't shock me if you forgot. I wasn't exactly aiming for big companies to work for afterwards, though.
Wait, did you really have that good of grades?
Yes. Dad took me out drinking to congratulate me on my achievement, too. Gary gave me a bit of money from his salary as a graduation gift as well. And you tell me that you had no idea, huh? That's a shame.
I'm so sorry. I only ever paid attention to Gary. Even though the two of you were brothers, it was horrible to treat the two of you so differently.
Well, frankly, I think that avoiding your attention turned out pretty well for me, as it made my life a lot easier. Right. It has gotten pretty late. But Dad told me that he needs to talk to you.
Huh? Oh, yes. He really did send me something. What could it be?
It might end up being quite a shocking talk. I suggest you calm down and listen to what he has to say. Now that I think of it, it wasn't just me. You actually neglected Dad quite a bit as well, didn't you? I don't think I've heard you mention him in a long time, except for when I brought him up.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Well, it doesn't really matter to me. Separated or not, parents are still connected to their children, aren't they?
What do you mean by that? Don't tell me you mean what I think you mean.
Thankfully, I managed to marry June without further trouble. It was a small affair, where we basically only took some photos and little else. The wedding may have been simple, but June and I couldn't be happier. As for the fate of Gary and his wife Brianna's family's company, things have managed to return to a state of normalcy. No hostile takeover required. And my mother, who spent her life as a mother focused on her first son, his wedding to a wealthy bride and little else, she finally provoked my mild-mannered father's wrath, and after a long marriage, they finally ended up divorcing. She did everything she could to control her sons, and it all ended in abject failure. From what I understand, my father had been suffering a long buildup of stress and anger caused by her. Anyway, my mother couldn't go to her parents' old house, so now she is living with one of her siblings in another state. I actually had known about the whole divorce plan ahead of time, thanks to my father briefing me on everything. I hope he's finally got some of that stress out of him now that everything's over with.
Thank you for watching. Please be sure to leave a like and a comment. New videos are released every day, so subscribe to see the latest videos.
The old guy seems like he's going to be all right. Thank God.
Oh, really? That's good.
Right? Anyway, I'm heading over to LabCorp now. I already called them and let them know the gist of what happened. So they had some warning I was going to be late due to extenuating circumstances. But even so, I thought I'd go over there personally to apologize again and set up another meeting.
Don't bother. I think you've done enough.
What do you mean?
I mean, get back here immediately and pack up all of your stuff.
You're not saying...
Of course I am. Obviously, you're fired.
But why?
Because we don't need people here who can't even keep their appointments with clients. You're not fit to call yourself a business person.
Hold on a second, Frank. Sure, I missed the meeting, but there were extenuating circumstances beyond my control. And I called them as soon as I could to let them know. I mean, the old guy had a heart attack right in front of their building, for God's sake. What was I going to do? Leave him there? Of course I had to call an ambulance. I was the only one who saw what happened, so I had to answer some questions. There was honestly nothing else to be done.
Yeah, I heard all of this already. And do you remember what it was that I told you?
Be reasonable.
How many times did I tell you, Michelson? Do you remember?
Yes,
Yes, what?
I remember.
Well, what did I say?
You said to leave the old man where he was, and to head to the meeting straight away.
That's right. But what did you do instead? You ignored my direct order. That's what you did. And now you've cost the company money. All for some old fart with one foot in the grave that nobody knows from Adam.
I couldn't just leave him there. I'm a human being, you know. There was no one else around to take care of him. Who knows what would have happened if I had just left him? He could have died.
And so what if he did? You'd still have a job, wouldn't you? Maybe your job is what you should have been concerned about. You were an employee at this company. And while you are working at this company, our profits ought to be your number one priority. That and obeying the orders of your boss, aka me. You had no right to disobey me and jeopardize our profits to help some old geezer. It's a mistake you won't make again. You're not qualified to call yourself a business person, much less an employee of mine. So like I said, you're fired. Don't let me see your face around here again.
Wow, you're like some kind of wannabe dictator. Now, first of all, I don't think you even have the authority to fire me.
Don't be stupid. Of course I can. While you were hanging out at the hospital giving that old fart mouth to mouth, I was in the office chatting with Kevin, the regional manager. You know what I told him? That you blew off your meeting. I told him you made a deal with another company and were sabotaging us on your way out.
What the? That's a pile of absolute... There's not an ounce of truth to that.
Well, that's not what Kevin heard. We're pretty busy over here these days up in management, so Kevin is a bit on edge as it is.
I can't believe this.
And don't think that you can waltz in here with an apology or explanation and smooth things over. The fact of the matter is that you missed your meeting with the client. I've already called LabCorp and offered them my sincerest apologies for your behavior.
Why would you do that? I already called them and explained the situation to them in full.
Well, I had to tell them about how sorry we were that you lied to them earlier. I explained to them about how you are a pathological liar and it's been giving us quite a headache for some time. Even over the phone, I could practically see the looks of shock and disgust on their faces.
I don't understand. Why are you doing this to me, Frank?
Simple. Because you rub me the wrong way. You've only been here, what, 3 years now? And yet you're constantly talking back to me. Don't tell me you thought you were winning any brownie points.
It's not that I'm trying to talk back to you or anything like that. I just thought you'd want to know when a contract you're planning to present to a client has some conditions that aren't in their best interest. All I was trying to do was let you know.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, Michelson. Good lord. Who do you think you are, anyway? Some kind of hero? You're a pain in my neck is what you are. There's no money in keeping the contracts 100% pristine. I told you, we're here to make a profit.
That's not right. Alan himself told me personally that he appreciated my devotion to the client's interests. That's the whole reason he put me in charge of a client as important as LabCorp in the first place.
And that's the worst part about you. How dare you think you can take LabCorp? I'm supposed to be in charge of all the major clients. Now you're stealing money right out of my pocket.
Because your plan was too big, Frank. You were going to push them away.
They're a huge company with a budget to match. I guarantee you they're not worried about that. We have to take them for all they're worth.
That's not how this works. They're our business partners.
You shut your mouth. God, even after being fired, you're still yapping away about this stuff. It's got nothing to do with you anymore, Michelson. Get it through your thick skull. Huh.
I don't know when, but this is going to catch up with you someday, Frank. Mark my words.
Oh, I'm shaking in my boots over here. You're all bark and no bite, Michelson. Now go yap at someone else for a change. I want to thank you again for all of your help earlier, Ms. Michelson. Thank you for giving me your contact information. I really hope you didn't mind my asking. Anyway, I thought you might like to know that my father has woken up.
I told you. Please call me Colleen. It was no problem at all. That's great news about your father. I'm so happy to hear it. Is he able to speak?
He says that he wants to express his gratitude in person. I don't suppose there's any way I could bother you into coming back to the hospital.
It's no problem, but please tell him that there's no thanks necessary. I just did what anyone else would have done in that situation.
I understand that you might consider it natural, but I think there are a lot of people in this world who wouldn't actually do what you did when push came to shove. According to Dad, there were other people there who walked right past him before you came, you know.
Is that so?
At any rate, he's very resolute in wanting to thank you personally. Would you mind coming and visiting him? I'm very sorry to put you through any trouble. If it was possible, we'd like to come to you. But it looks like he'll be in the hospital for a while. But because of that, any time that suits you is fine. I'm sure you're quite busy. Weekend, evening, he's not going anywhere.
No, it's no problem. I can come visit any time.
Oh, is that right?
It seems I found myself with quite a bit of free time on my hands.
I see. I hope it isn't because of us.
No, it's my own stuff. Anyway, it looks like I'll be a bit busy tomorrow taking care of a few things. How does the day after sound? Friday morning?
Thank you, Colleen. I know it will mean the world to my father. And if you didn't come, I would never hear the end of it. Once again, you're a lifesaver. Literally.
Well, I'll send you a message when I get to the hospital then.
Sorry to bother you, but...
Hi, Martin. No bother. How can I help you?
Well, I just happened to hear something this morning. Is it true that you were fired yesterday?
Oh, wow. You caught me off guard there. Where did you hear that?
Sorry, I don't mean to intrude. I just...
No, it's fine. If you know, you know. Can't put the genie back in the bottle. To be honest, I did get fired. But it's not you or your father's fault at all, of course. So please don't waste even a second worrying about that.
But we heard that you missed an important meeting because you were helping my dad. And you were fired for not making it to the meeting. Isn't that right?
Listen, Martin. Even if my manager had been standing there with me and told me directly to walk past your father or else I would be fired, I wouldn't have done a single thing differently. If anyone is at fault here, it's the company that would fire someone for just doing their civic duty and helping a fellow human. I don't have a single shred of regret leaving a company like that. And I'll find another job. Rest assured.
You really are something, Colleen.
You're going to make me blush.
Really? Anyway, we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Me too.
Oh, and another thing. I don't suppose you could bring a copy of your resume with you.
You want a copy of my resume? Are you hiring or something?
If you don't mind, I'd prefer to explain tomorrow. See you then. Hey, if it isn't Mad Dog Michelson. Fired for sticking her nose where it doesn't belong. Anyway, thanks to you getting the axe, it looks like I've finally been put in charge of the LabCorp account. Couldn't have done it without you, Michelson.
Well, good for you.
Well, I'll be. Look at you, all meek and mild-mannered. Here I was expecting your normal yipping and yapping.
I just realized there was no point in saying anything to you.
There she is! Ha!
Yeah. Woof woof.
Having fun, are you?
Anyway, what do you want? Don't tell me you're just messaging me to brag about stealing my account.
What other reason could I possibly have to talk to you? Certainly not your looks.
Well, it seems like the new account's not keeping you too busy.
Don't get me wrong, I am plenty busy. Your limp, soggy fart of a plan needs a total overhaul before we're ready to sign. This is a big fish. There's big money involved. And I don't want just a little nibble. I want the whole thing.
Well, good luck with that.
I don't need your luck, loser. I met the guy in charge on their side a long while back. Just once, but I remember him. Real spacey. No common sense whatsoever. AKA a complete sucker. Is that so? I'm a bit embarrassed to hear that our representative, Mr. Reynolds, gave such a poor impression. Huh? Your company? What are you babbling about? But your previous account manager, Colleen, was so trustworthy. We didn't really have to worry about her trying to take advantage of us or anything like that. So we thought we would be alright having an open and trusting guy like Reynolds on the account. We would have all been happier if things could have remained as they were, to be honest. But now that we'll be dealing with you instead, it seems we'll need to get someone a little more cutthroat to represent us. What the hell is this? Who are you? Good morning. This is Martin Long speaking, Executive Vice President of Label Corporation Limited. Get out of here, Michelson. The VP of LabCorp. I have to say, the way you spoke to Colleen really got under my skin. I couldn't help but take the phone and deal with you directly. Why would Michelson be with the VP of LabCorp? Because I wanted to give her my personal thanks for helping out my father the other day, after he had a heart attack in front of our building. Your father? That's right. The old fart with one foot in the grave, as you so charmingly put it. You mean to tell me that old guy that Michelson helped out the other day? That was the president of LabCorp? That would be correct. Michelson! Why didn't you tell me that from the beginning? What is wrong with you? Because she didn't know. My father has not been very healthy recently. In fact, it's not often that he shows his face around this office anymore. By the way, it was you who ordered Colleen to just leave him on the ground and get to the meeting. Isn't that right? Hold on a second. If I had known that was the president, of course I would have never given any such order. Of course not. I believe you. But, by your own admission then, if the person in need was not the president of the company, then it's fine. That's not what I'm saying. I'm afraid that's what it looks like. I've looked at your previous messages with Colleen, and actually, I've come to the conclusion that we absolutely can't do business with a person who would say things like that. So we've had some discussions about the future of our business with your company on our end. I'm afraid we've decided we won't be signing any contracts with you. Now, wait just a minute. Let me explain. You haven't even seen the new plan yet. At least give me a chance to pitch it to you. That won't be necessary. I don't need to see it to know that your contract is just going to be a vehicle to try and take advantage of us and recommend some expensive, extraneous things that we don't need. Isn't that right? Of course not. This plan was written with nothing but your company's needs in mind. Of course it's important to think about the future. We have several key investment opportunities that you simply can't afford to overlook. I'm afraid we don't have any money to spare on your nonsense. I'm pretty sure we asked your company for a bare-bones plan when we first contacted you about this. That's true, but you've got to hear me out. No, that's enough. And of course, there's also the matter of your conduct toward Colleen. I've already taken the liberty of contacting your president directly. Alan? Surely he set up a meeting with you already. Please just hold on a second here. You're saying that you're angry I fired Ms. Michelson, right? It's fine. It's not too late. She's back on the job. She's back on the account. As if nothing ever happened. In fact, let's just chalk this entire situation up as just a little misunderstanding. So please, let's all just calm down and not do anything rash. I'm afraid that doesn't work for us either. Why the heck not? Because Colleen works for us now. Really?
It's Colleen again.
What is going on here, Michelson?
Well, it's like Martin explained to you, Frank. I'm working at LabCorp now. I think LabCorp has a lot of opportunities for me to grow my skills and apply my knowledge to our mutual benefit. For a start, it seems I'll be taking over this account from Kurt. You know, the guy you called Spacey.
Wait, you're in charge of the account now?
Isn't it just a perfect fit for my experience?
You're not wrong. Business between our companies will be smooth as butter from now on.
Oh, you think so?
I've taught you everything you know, haven't I? Working together will be smooth sailing. So from now on, you just tell me whatever it is that LabCorp needs, and then we can think up a perfect plan together. It's a win-win for everyone. Am I right or am I right?
Did you read what Martin wrote a few minutes ago? There's not going to be a contract.
Why the heck not? I've raised you into an astute and capable business person, haven't I? Don't you think you owe me?
The only thing you've taught me is that there are some really awful people in this world. That's it. Please give up any hopes of getting a contract out of us.
Hold on a second, Michelson. Do you know what's going to happen to me in that case?
I imagine you'll have to take some responsibility for your actions, won't you? Possibly even fired, if there's any justice in the world.
Don't even joke about that. Come on, Michelson. Think about this again. I'll apologize, all right? I was wrong. I admit it. I apologize. I'll get on my knees and apologize. I'll kiss your feet.
Gross, don't threaten to kiss me. You think sexual harassment is how you get a contract? You're not fit to call yourself a business person. After that, Frank was called into a meeting with the regional manager and the company president. Having heard the truth from Martin, the president was furious. Learning that Frank had lied to his face about me, the regional manager was also furious. The results of the situation were clear. Because of Frank's intentional lie, the company had lost a huge client. After such a massive blunder, Frank only really had two options: resign or be fired. It seems he chose to resign with a little dignity. Apparently, Frank was never really what you would call a top-class employee from the very beginning. As such, and considering he left the company in disgrace, it seems he had his work cut out for him in finding a new job. On the other hand, I'm doing great at LabCorp. The new job also came with a pretty hefty raise. I'm bustling away at my new job, perfectly content. My new boss is incredibly capable and reliable. And even more importantly, she has zero tolerance for doing anything unethical. In short, she is my kind of person. I never would have thought that so much in my life would change just for helping an old man who was suffering a heart attack. I guess this is what they mean when they say that helping others also helps you. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe for more. See you next time.
Hey, congrats on your last-minute wedding. You really dodged a bullet there.
What? What do you mean, I dodged a bullet?
Well, you know, you're 29 right now, right? Women who reach 30 and haven't been able to get married yet are pathetic. Nobody wants them after that. And it makes sense. Like, there's gotta be something wrong with them, right? It's a red flag. So you got there at the last minute, you know? You just barely made it. But you made it!
Okay, look. I don't care how close of a friend you are to Anthony. You have to choose your words carefully. Like, you could have just said congrats like a normal person would. That's it. That's all you needed to say.
No, because this isn't your normal kind of celebration. It's the celebration of a last-minute wedding. You've been saved from being a husbandless 30-year-old. You don't have to grow old as a spinster now.
What the hell? How sexist are you? You know what? Whatever. Call it what you want. I don't really care what you have to say.
And on top of that, you got married to Anthony. Wait a minute. Perhaps this isn't a last-minute wedding, but a shotgun wedding? Is there a little baby Anthony on the way that you've been hiding from everyone?
Shut up! That's not what it is. He proposed to me because he wanted to marry me. That's all.
I see. But it's a little strange, don't you think?
Huh? What are you talking about? Nothing about it is strange.
Anthony isn't the type of guy to get married. He's more like the type of guy that only gets married at the end of his life, so he can live his best bachelor life. Ha!
Well, his life doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. On the contrary, I think this is a great new beginning, for him as well as me.
Nah, you're digging your own grave by getting married. That's what pretty much every one of our married friends say. So, with that in mind, at least as far as his decision to get married goes, maybe he was buried as soon as he met you.
What are you even saying? Do you know how rude you're being right now?
We're talking about why you decided to get married so suddenly, aren't we?
But it's not like I suddenly decided to get married. The two of us discussed it together, and we decided to do it around this time. But we've been decided for a while. Anthony just wanted to wait for the right time to propose.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Even though it's sudden, I suppose it's nothing to worry about. I gotta say, that's amazing, Gia. Was it the power of love?
The power of love?
You know about all his debts, and you're still going to marry him? I mean, really, that's amazing. That's some dedication.
Wait, what? Debt? What do you mean? Anthony's in debt?
Oh, wait. You didn't know? Oh, crap. I think I wasn't supposed to say that. Whoops. Oh, God, he's probably going to kill me now.
Wait, slow down. What are you talking about when you say debt? What do you mean? He hasn't told me anything about that.
You shouldn't have heard it from me. I'm not supposed to talk about any of that. Not about the strip clubs or anything else about that. He'd kill me.
Strip clubs? He's spending money in those sorts of places? He's in debt because of that?
Oh, God, I really need to shut my mouth. I've really done it now.
I don't believe this. I can't believe that the Anthony I know would do those kinds of things.
Well, yeah, but he's still a good guy, right? He's a good friend to me. Man, I thought we'd have fun together and be able to hang out, just us guys, forever. The fact that you two are actually going to get married is freaking me out. My best friend won't be so available anymore. Well, anyway, I'll be toasting to your happiness.
I don't think I want any of your blessings, thanks.
Oh? Is that so? I'm just giving you my blessing in my own way is all.
What do you usually say to people who just decided to get married? Because if it's this, I'm actually concerned for you. Do you always talk about how it's a last-minute wedding? Or about how their fiancé is in debt from going to strip clubs?
No, you have it all wrong. It's because you decided to get married that I said all of that. Don't you see? What if you had gotten married to him without knowing what I told you? Do you love him enough that you'd say it was okay? Now, that really would be something, to get a woman that's like that.
Okay, you were getting on my nerves before, but now talking to you is seriously irritating me. I'm done with this conversation. Don't ever contact me again. You were Anthony's friend originally, not mine. Let's keep it that way.
Wow, you are annoyed, aren't you? But are you really annoyed at me? Or are you annoyed because I told you the truth?
Oh, shut up. That's not it. Stop being ridiculous.
You know, that stuff about it being a last-minute wedding, maybe, just maybe, I hit the bullseye there. And now you also know that there is a whole side to Anthony that you never knew about, right?
Yes, that's true, but...
But, even in this situation, knowing what you know, you'll still marry him?
I don't want to break off the engagement just like that. And until I've actually checked with him about it and confirmed it, I don't even know if what you're saying is true or not. It could be a complete lie for all I know.
Wait, you intend to talk with him about this? Don't you think it's better to just quit now?
And why would I do that?
What do you intend to accomplish by talking to him about it? What are you gonna say? You're just gonna go up to him and say, "Don't go to the strip club anymore," or "Stop borrowing money"?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And then if you do that, your marriage will be all perfect again?
If I threatened to leave unless he changed, I think he would change.
Ah, but you have to realize, he's pretty stubborn, Anthony is. If you point those things out to him, he'll get mad. I don't know if changing would even be an option for him. He gets pretty stuck in his ways.
But I can't imagine such a gentle person like him getting mad at something like that. He's usually pretty understanding and open-minded about things.
Yeah. It's always scary when the quiet ones like him get angry. I think he'll get mad if you bring up the truth of things like that. Gia, do you understand what this means? This last-minute marriage? The importance of it? Do you really have the courage to run away from what may be your one chance at marriage? Or at the very least, your chance to get married before you turn 30, before men start finding you a little less desirable.
I mean, I don't know. I really can't imagine it not working out with Anthony. And I think I'd still have a chance even over 30.
Listen, this is his situation. He's in debt, but it's not enough to ruin his life just yet. He's doing well enough right now. The debt is at a tolerable amount. But I think it's best to warn him if he goes over the limit and things get out of hand. And because of this, well, you may not be able to live the life you desire, but...
Are you telling me I should just be quiet about it?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think that would be wise.
But then, why did you tell me this information?
Sorry? What do you mean?
If you were just going to tell me not to tell him anyway, then why would you tell me these things?
Because it's way too interesting not to, you know?
What the hell? What's wrong with you?
Who did you guys consult before going off on your own and deciding to marry each other?
Who did we consult? I mean, we talked to my parents and his and got their approval.
What about me?
You? What about you?
I was Anthony's friend before you even started dating him. Him choosing to get married. We won't be able to hang out like we've always done. Did you ever think how this would impact me? Did either of you think about how I might not be okay with it?
Why would we even think about that? Deciding to get married is a conversation between the two people who are going to get married. That's how it always is. And I mean, Anthony is a part of this as well. Have you even spoken about this to him? As far as you two hanging out, that's definitely something that you need to discuss with Anthony, not me.
What's with this attitude? You act like it's got nothing to do with you, when really it has everything to do with you. He wouldn't have gotten married if it weren't for you. It's your fault.
That's absurd.
If you're not going to stop the marriage, at least allow me to have my fun.
Wow. I never realized how disgusting you really are as a person. And from one of Anthony's oldest friends. I really can't believe it.
No, I'm the one who can't believe this. How a woman like you could get married is beyond me. Ah, well, if Anthony has decided it, then it can't be helped by either of us. Have the most wonderful marriage, won't you? I'm really hoping for that, for you too. Oh, wow. I can't believe how amazing this wedding has turned out. Your dive into the pool was quite the sight.
You. What have you done?
Let me tell you something about yourself, okay? You aren't interesting at all. You needed to get the crowd excited because it was a last-minute wedding. Didn't you almost get a complaint from one of your own guests?
That's not why you did it, and we both know it. I thought you were an idiot, but I never thought you'd go this far.
Oh, don't complain so much. You're making it into such a big deal. The bride getting pushed into the pool was quite the surprise, wasn't it? It livened up the wedding quite a lot, so be grateful, will you? I think you should be. It was getting really boring until I did something about it.
Guess what? I've got an even better surprise for you.
Oh yeah? I doubt it's better, knowing you, but go ahead. What is it?
You owe us $75,000.
Wait, what? You're joking? You must be joking.
That dress I was wearing was a rental, you know. And it's a brand new product from the most popular wedding brand. Today, the people who designed it even came to take some photographs of it.
A rental? So
you pushed me into a pool right in front of those people. They're all furious. They're going to sue right away. The cost of the dress alone is $75,000. But then there's also another $22,000 in miscellaneous fees added on for postponing the photo shoot and such.
You're kidding me. You want me to pay nearly $100,000 because of something like that? Are you insane?
It's not what I want. It's what everyone wants.
Why are you going after me for this? I hardly did anything. The people at the wedding liked it. Everyone went nuts when I did it. All I did was add some entertainment to your otherwise lifeless wedding. Everyone who was there, everyone who thought it was funny was complicit. You should make every single one of them pay too. 500 people came, so if every person paid, it wouldn't be such a big amount.
Except no one thought it was funny.
What are you talking about? Of course they did. They were glad I did something about your lame wedding.
Have you not noticed how everyone has distanced themselves from you since then? And did you hear that really loud gasp? That was my friend who knew that the dress was $75,000. She screamed when you did it because she knew the dress was ruined. I have the evidence on video. If you watch it, you'll see that absolutely no one thought it was funny. So, given that, the ruining of the dress was only one person's responsibility, and that person is you.
No, for just one little push, I don't deserve this. This is just your little scam, isn't it? You're helping the dressmaker scam me? I bet you're in bed with the dressmaker. That's what's going on here. There's no other explanation. Why else would I be punished so harshly?
Believe whatever delusions you want. This is a nation of laws, and you are going to be sued for what you've done. Let's see. Now, do you have the courage, wisdom, facts, and materials on your side to back yourself up?
Well
then, you also have to pay the extra $22,000 as well.
No, this can't be. I mean,
that's just how it is. There's a fine for ruining the wedding, ruining the photo shoot. There's even a fine for pushing people in the pool.
what the hell? Come on, really? It's so silly to have to pay a violation fee for a little prank, isn't it?
Didn't you know? It was written in the wedding invitation, and also on a sign in the wedding hall, too.
I didn't see them. I mean, what kind of idiot would demand that? That's ridiculous.
I think the idiot here is you. You didn't even know about the rule. Didn't even read the invitation. Don't you know that people can get seriously injured from being pushed into pools? There are stories of people getting paralyzed and even dying. That's how dangerous it can be.
Oh, come on. Of course, I'm well aware of that. I thought about that ahead of time and made calculations so that it wouldn't be dangerous when I pushed you in.
You liar! You expect me to believe you? At least come up with something better. You weren't thinking about any of that when you pushed me in.
No, it's true. I did the math for it. And the only evidence you need is the fact that you didn't injure one single thing when you fell in.
That is nothing but coincidence and dumb luck.
Well, there will always be coincidences. You can't use that argument to say I'm lying.
And you can't say that just because I didn't get injured, that means it was perfectly safe. Ugh, you are so annoying. I suppose I should expect it. Stupid people say stupid things.
Nah, I can't talk to you. You're infuriating. I know Anthony's there. Come on, man, just take over the phone.
What? Oh, shut up! I'm talking to you right now.
And I'm saying that I can't talk to you. If I was telling this to Anthony, he would understand what I'm saying. And all these claims and lawsuits and stuff, if it was Anthony, he'd help me out, no question. Or he would agree to co-sign with me. Unlike some people, he's always been a kind man, ever since I've known him.
Give me a break. What are you even saying? Sure, Anthony's kind. Of course you'd know that. You take advantage of his kindness all the time, don't you? But I'm not so sure it's going to work out well for you this time.
What do you know? Anthony is like my brother. We've known each other so long we're like more than family. The bond we have will never die. That's probably something you can only dream of, and it rubs you the wrong way.
Ah, I see. A bond that will never die. How sweet. But then, why is Anthony saying that he's never going to talk to you again?
Wait, what? You're lying. He would never say that.
First of all, he's furious at you for telling me that he's in debt and that he frequents strip clubs.
Wait, you weren't supposed to tell him about that.
Yep, I told him, all right. I told him immediately, the day I heard it from you.
But I told you not to say that.
Ah, right. And why did you say that? Was it because you made the whole thing up? What he told me is that you're the one obsessed with going to strip clubs. And it's you who's in debt to Anthony, not the other way around.
I thought if I said that, you might cancel the wedding. Because if Anthony became a married man and lost his freedom...
You wouldn't be able to borrow money from him anymore? That's it, isn't it? That's why you did all this. That would have put you in a tight spot, I'm sure. Well, Anthony noticed what you were doing, got angry, and now says that he's cutting ties with you completely.
Oh, please. You're obviously lying. There's no way. He's not picking up my calls. Why isn't he picking up?
He blocked you, both on his phone and his email. It looks like he doesn't want to talk to you anymore.
Okay, if that's true, then why would he invite me to his wedding? It doesn't make sense.
He said he has the decision to be friends with you or not. And he intends to use the wedding as an opportunity to cut ties, to speak face-to-face with you and confront you, and then break it off. He was trying to cut you out of his life, so that after the wedding, he wouldn't see you again.
No, it doesn't make sense. This can't be. So that means, in this situation, I'm on my own?
Exactly. Glad you finally figured it out. Because it was caused by you, and you alone. So of course you bear the responsibility. You started this mess, so you can clean it up. Doesn't that seem fair?
Please, wait. Please help me. Please just let me speak to him one time.
He said no. He doesn't want to help you. He feels like he's been used by you this whole time. He says that to believe in the friendship you had with him, only to get stabbed in the back, was pretty shocking to him. So he says you better get an expert to deal with all your debt, too, because it's not looking good for you.
No, please. Let me explain to him. I can explain. I can do better by him. Please, just at least tell him I said that.
When you borrowed the money, you very nicely wrote him an IOU, didn't you? Not your wisest choice, I guess. He says it seems like he can use that IOU as is, so he's gonna give it over to a specialist.
The IOU? I guess. But I didn't think...
Didn't think what? That it would come back to bite you? That's too bad. So the amount you have to pay will work out to a total of approximately $150,000 from the looks of it. Man, that's enough to buy a small house with, isn't it?
No, this can't be. This must be a lie or a joke. Please, please help me. If I'm that much in debt, my life is over. Please, don't do this to me.
Oh, would you look at that? I suppose what you said has come true. Except you got one little thing wrong. Anthony wasn't buried when he met me. You were! After that, Tyler had to pay a gargantuan amount of money. For starters, there was the compensation for the dress for $75,000. Then he also had the money that he owed to Anthony. Money for delaying the photo shoot, money for violating the rules at the wedding venue, and finally, money for assault when he pushed me in the pool. All told, the money he had to pay worked out to be around $135,000. Of course, because he did not have the savings or the assets to pay it all, his parents, who live in the countryside on a farm, loaned him the money to pay off the debt. And the replacement cost was borrowed using his family's vast farm as collateral. But his parents told him they'd only do this on the condition that he inherit the family farm. For that reason, he had to quit his job and move out to the countryside. But it wasn't easy for him. Apparently, it was too isolated for his liking. Whereas there are plenty of his beloved strip clubs in the city and suburbs, there isn't one single strip club for him to entertain himself at out on the farm. For him, this might be the most painful punishment he could have ever received. When he just can't stand it any longer, he has to drive as many as 3 hours one way just to get to a club. What happened at our wedding caused quite a stir, and the venue got a lot of negative publicity. But once Tyler was gone, it began to settle down. And eventually, talk of the incident faded away and out of people's minds. I think our lives still hold a lot in store for us, so until we're both actually buried, we're going to have the time of our lives and overcome whatever life throws at us. Thanks for watching! If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe.